The police officer's eyes went cold as he handed back the license. He leaned toward me and whispered, "You need to know the truth about your husband." My heart stopped. What could he possibly be hiding from me? My hands gripped the seat tightly, and in that moment, the world felt like it was spinning. Suspicion started to rise. It was just a normal traffic stop. Or at least that's what I thought. But why did the cop look at me like that? Why did his voice carry so much warning? My stomach turned with fear. The officer pulled me aside, away from my husband's eyes. He lowered his voice and told me that the man I had trusted all these years wasn't the person I believed he was. My heart pounded louder than ever. The secret came out slowly, hidden documents, a past I knew nothing about. Every word hit me like a punch. Disbelief, anger, and confusion tangled inside me. Could the man sitting in my car, smiling as if nothing had happened, really be hiding such a horrifying truth? The night felt normal, until the cop leaned in and whispered, "Ma'am, step aside. I need to tell you something about your husband." My blood ran cold. I froze, staring at the officer's serious eyes. My husband sat quietly in the car, calm and collected, while I was pulled a few steps away. My heart was beating so loud I could hear it echoing in my ears. The officer held up a piece of paper. "Do you know this name? This record?" he asked. My hands shook as I read it. It wasn't my husband's name. It was another identity, tied to things I never imagined. The air around me felt heavy, like I couldn't breathe. I wanted to scream, to ask 100 questions, but my voice refused to come out. All this time, the man I trusted, the man I married, had been living a double life. My mind replayed every moment we shared. Was any of it even real? The officer's words kept echoing. He is hiding something horrifying. My chest tightened with fear. I turned my head slowly, my eyes locking onto my husband's face. He smiled faintly at me through the glass, but now that smile looked different, like it was covering secrets darker than I could ever imagine. "Do you really know who you married?" Those words rang in my ears like thunder. I stood frozen as the cop's voice cut through the night, sharp and unshakable. My hands turned cold, my body trembling. I had thought my life was steady, safe, and predictable. Yet in that moment, everything I believed started to collapse. The officer's face carried a mix of concern and warning, and I could see he wasn't exaggerating. He leaned closer, lowering his voice. "You need to protect yourself. There are things about him you don't know, things that could ruin you if you stay blind." My knees felt weak, and it was as if the ground beneath me wasn't solid anymore. I glanced back at my husband. He sat in the car, his eyes calm, almost too calm, like he already knew what the officer was saying. That calmness scared me more than anger would have. Who was this man I had built my life around? Every shared laugh, every promise, every late-night conversation suddenly twisted in my memory. Were those moments real, or were they carefully crafted lies? The officer's warning felt like a door slamming open to a dark room I never wanted to enter, but now I had no choice. The folder slid across the table, its edge stopping right in front of me. My hand shook as I pulled it closer, almost too afraid to open it. The cop's eyes stayed locked on mine, his voice steady. "What you're about to see will change everything you think you know about your husband." My heart pounded so hard I thought it might break through my chest. I flipped the cover open, and there it was, photographs, documents, dates, even witness reports. Each page screamed with a truth I was never supposed to find out. My husband wasn't just hiding secrets, he was living a life behind my back that was darker than I could ever imagine. As I read line after line, my world felt like it was spinning. The man who promised me love, who shared my home, my bed, my dreams, had been lying every single day. The files painted a picture of someone dangerous, someone capable of things I didn't even want to think about. Tears blurred my vision, but I kept turning the pages, desperate for answers, terrified of what I'd discover next. With every word, I felt my trust shatter into pieces. The truth wasn't just painful, it was horrifying. And now I had to decide if I could even survive knowing it. The moment I opened that old box hidden deep in the attic, my hands froze. Inside were papers, letters, and photos that didn't belong to the man I thought I married. Childhood records, fake IDs, and documents with different names stared back at me. It was as if my husband had lived multiple lives, each one carefully covered with lies. My heart pounded as I tried to connect the pieces. Why would he keep all of this hidden from me? The first thing that caught my eye was a birth certificate, but the name wasn't his. At least not the name I knew. Then came medical reports about a child I had never heard of, and suddenly my mind was filled with questions I wasn't ready to face. I remembered the officer's words. He is hiding something horrifying. Could this be what they meant? As I kept digging, I found photos of him with strangers, people who looked nothing like family. Yet the way he stood with them felt close, almost intimate. My stomach dropped. The man I trusted with my life had an entire hidden world. And now, holding these secrets in my hands, I knew there was no turning back. Would I confront him? Or would the truth destroy me before